Welcome to Advanblack's YouTube channel. I'm Steve, service technician for Advanblack, and today I'm going to be showing you a new product we're going to be installing back here on the 24 Road Glide. And today we're going to be installing the fairing spoiler kit for the Road Glide, which comes down off the side right here, goes around the oil cooler. Because this is a three-piece kit, this can be separated as well and also used on the Street Glide. The Road Glide fairing spoiler kit has a piece that comes down right here, and then we have the oil cooler cover that goes around the bottom, and then a piece that goes back up the other side. Now, if you just want the oil cooler cover color matched for your bike, you can purchase that as well. We'll have that sold separately on the website for the Street Glides that only have the oil cooler cover. Now, this is a super easy install. With a couple of tools, you can really get this installed on your bike in less than 30 minutes. But today I want to go over the products that we're going to be installing. As you can see back here on the lift, I've got the OEM oil cooler cover, and I have the one that's color matched from Advanblack. And if you have the CVO model that already has this on there, you'll notice that all of the different colored models, the top piece is color matched, but the bottom piece, the oil cooler cover, is always vivid black. Now, from us, you're going to be able to get that oil cooler cover color matched to your bike, so the whole fairing skirt will be color matched. Now, back here on the lift, I have the OEM vivid black one, and I have the color matched one from Advanblack. Now, there are differences in these, and I want to point those out. The biggest difference is right down here at the bottom. You'll see that the Harley Davidson one is completely cut out at the bottom, exposing all this stuff to anything that can come up from your tires or from the road and hit your oil cooler or your lines or wires. On ours, you can see that we've filled that completely in, so that protects all that stuff from anything being slung up from the road. And what we've done with ours is incorporated the bold edge line that you see in the newer models. It comes on the tank, it's on the side covers, it's on the lids, and we've incorporated that now into the oil cooler cover, and we've also incorporated it into the side panel, so this isn't just a smooth side panel. Now, I don't have an OEM side panel, but I can assure you there's stops right about right in here, and it's more rounded like this. We've curved ours to come off the oil cooler and maintain that same curve and come out farther on the front of the fairing. So instead of being snubbed off way back here, it comes out here like this, and it just flows right into everything, and it looks a lot cleaner. When you put these two pieces together, you'll see that bold line right there on that edge. Instead of the smooth one on the OEM, you'll see that bold line runs down and runs smack into that bold line on the bottom. So it follows that curve all the way through the two pieces. One other thing to note is ours has a black hex metal grill in the bottom, unlike the OEM cheap plastic one. Inside this kit, you're going to get everything that you need to get this installed. The only requirement that you have is the chopped engine guard on the bike. This piece comes down and kind of comes around here, and then the bottom piece comes up to the bottom of that, right? So you have to have that OEM style chopped engine guard like this. Inside the kit, you'll also get a new fairing support bracket. It has two pieces that come down with rubber grommets in it that help hold this together. Like I said, super easy install, so let's get the camera over here and let's get started. Now, with the newer Road Glide fairings, they've made quite a big improvement in this from the 23 and older bikes. All of the bolts that we're going to be taking out today to take this fairing off are now a Torx 27. Instead of having to switch from Torx to hex and then back to Torx in different sizes like the old style, they finally got it together. So grab yourself a Torx 27 and a ratchet or a battery operated ratchet, whatever you want to use, and we're going to start taking these bolts out. First four we're going to take out are the two windshield bolts, two on each side. Now, these bolts have little rubber washers on them. Make sure that you don't lose those. Once you get that off, you're just simply going to lift up right here and right here. You're going to push up and take that windshield out. Three more Torx 27 here, here, and here on each side. Right here at the top edge of the speaker, you're going to take a little plastic pry tool like this, and you're going to pop right here on this corner and pop the speaker grill out. Right down here at the bottom, you have two bolts holding this on. We're going to remove the bottom bolt, and then we're going to remove the Torx 27 that's underneath the grill around the speaker area, one on each side. Now, from here, we have this plastic trim that goes across the front of the vent. Take that plastic pry tool again and get in that crease right there, and we're going to pop that out. There's basically a clip here and a clip here that hold that in. So we're just going to get in here, pop it out. Pop that out just like that. Take that off. Once you get that off, you can take this trim and lift it straight up and off the bike. You've basically got 4 bolts left holding this fairing on. I'm going to save these for last so I can be in front of the fairing. Make sure you cover up your fender if you're worried about dropping this. You got a Torx 27 here, and you got a Torx 27 going straight down in here, and that is on both sides. So we'll take out these 2 first, and then we have these 2 at the top. Once you take those out, you can now slide the fairing forward and off of the bike. Now, in order to get this oil cooler cover off, I do recommend that you take your fender off. It's going to give you a lot more room to get this out. And even with the fender off, you still have to kind of sneak that out. So we're just going to take a 1/4 inch Allen. We're going to remove the 2 bolts on each side to pull the front fender. Now we have to replace this fairing support bracket right here. You've got a bolt here. The fairing support bracket goes down. You've got 2 bolts here, and then that same bolt on the other side. 1/4 inch, go in here and remove these. Make sure you've got a hold of the engine guard when you take out this last bolt. Once those are loose, you're just going to pull this engine guard straight down off the sides and slide that out. You can see our new fairing support bracket is basically made the same way. It just has added supports down here for your new side panels, right? So we're going to put this back in the same way. We're going to slide this back through, make sure it's on both sides of the fairing, right up here at the top. Do that on both sides. You can slide this back up into place. Get these bolts started. Make sure that your rubber grommets are in place. If they're not, these just pop in and out, and they do kind of slide, so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. This hole back here is kind of oblong, so it gives you some wiggle room up here before you tighten everything down. So the next thing we're going to do is we have a bracket that goes right here. These are marked left and right. It's going to have the rubber grommet in it as well, and these go behind these 2 pieces. They don't go in the front. You can see these are threaded nuts, so they go behind it, and then you're going to put your included hardware in. Make sure the tab is facing the front and the hole is in the rear. This is going to be a 3/16 Allen. So we're going to put this up into place and get these started. Repeat that process on the other side. So now we have to remove the black oil cooler cover. This thing just pops off. There's basically grommets on the top and grommets on the bottom that these pop into. We're just going to pull it forward so it pops. Just like that. Let it fall down with the fender off. Now you're going to want to turn the wheels. So if you have the bike up on a lift like we do and there's a wheel chock involved, you can only turn it so far. The best thing to do is go ahead and jack up the front end of the bike. Now that we have a little bit more room at the bottom, we can actually turn the wheel a little bit like this, and we can tilt this down like this and at an angle, and then slide that bad boy right off. If you're worried about scratching up your new one, put painter's tape across these edges and across the bottom, and then get this thing slid in. It is a pretty tight fit. I'm going to go in at an angle. Get it straight. Turn our wheel. Pull and pull this up into place. Just like that. Line up with the prongs in the back with the rubber grommets at the top. And push it into place. We're going to do that at the top and the bottom. So as you can see on the back side of this, you've got a nipple here, and a hole here. You got a speed nut right up here, rubber grommet here, right? So very easy to install. We're going to line up that bottom one. Hold the back side of that grommet when you put it into place so you don't push the grommet out of place. So then right up here at the front, you just have a 3/16 Allen and a washer that it's going to go in from the front this way. So we're just going to sneak our hand in here, get this bolt in, and tighten it down. A little bit different angle on this side. Pin, hole, speed clip up here so you can see what I'm talking about now. We're going to hold that grommet in the back, push it on. So we're going to slide that over into place and run that in. From here, we're going to go ahead and remount our fender. All we have left to do is put our fairing back on. So we're going to pull this up into place, With these new style fairings, you want to come over here and look at this edge right here. This edge, now there's a little kind of clip in there that hooks into the inner fairing. The old style just kind of butted up against it and you screwed it down. So when you put this on, make sure you back it off, push it in, and clip that edge and make sure you got a nice clean line around both sides of the fairing. Remember, all this was a Torx 27. I'll show you the bolts as I put them back in, and just in case you've taken the bolts out and you don't remember where these go. You've got this short bolt right here. These are the ones that go up here at the top. Got a button head bolt with a washer. That's going to go right here. These two bolts right here at the top, going straight down. Same bolt as the first two bolts that we pulled out, Torx 27, are going to go right here underneath the speakers. So once again, before you pull this one in, make sure this leading edge is tucked. Button head bolt like this are your little wing bolts. We're going to take our trim piece, and these little things right here have a tendency to just kind of fall off. So you need to pay close attention to how that is on there. That's what holds your windshield in place. So this just slides up in here like that. So until we tuck it like that, sometimes they can fall off. This one, this side over here, constantly wanting to fall off. And we're going to add our windshield pieces back on. Get the bolts lined up. We're going to get our trim piece. As you can see, these little clips that we just popped out earlier. This side over here, of course, for the lever for your vent. So make sure it's on the right side. Slide that over the lever and down into place. And snap it straight back into place. Just like that. Get your windshield. Slide it back into place. Make sure your rubber washers are on the back side of your windshield bolts. And I don't recommend you using any kind of battery operated wrench or ratchet to put these in. Just put these in by hand and snug them down. Now we're going to come back around here, get our speaker grills back on, look at the placement of your pins, make sure that your rubber gasket is pushed all the way down. The bottom kind of hooks in and then the top two push in, right? So we're going to get the bottom pushed in first, and then we're just going to simply snap these into place. So set this into place, bottom down first, roll it back into place, snap it, and you're done. So there you have it, super easy install. Like I said in the beginning of this video, easy to install, but drastically changes the way your bike looks. If you want that CVO look without that CVO price tag, this is definitely the way to go. If you want to get your hands on one of these, I'll put a link in the description down below. For the first 3 days that this video is online, you'll have to go through an authorized Advanblack dealer to get this part. After that, I will put the links in the description. It'll take you straight over to the website. Make sure to check out the rest of the website because we have a ton of color match products and a lot of new products for the 2024s, 2023 CVOs and 2024s and on newer. We got a lot of new parts coming out for those bikes, so make sure that you stay tuned. If you have any questions on this install, you know the deal. Comment section down below and I'll help you the best that I can. I'm going to get out of here, get myself back to work. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, as always, be safe and keep your knees in the breeze.